How's it going, guys? So one of the big questions I get asked a lot is how do I separate the black sand from the gold from Reedy Creek? So I thought I'd do a bit of a video to show you how I go about doing that. So here I have 1 day worth of Reedy Creek cones. And normally what I do is I just pound it down to a small handful and just chuck it in a pan, and then that will leave me with all my sort of heavies and things like that. So what I do to separate it is we start off with a good old kitchen strainer, and that will get rid of all my big rocks. Now, Reedy Creek black sand is not really magnetic, so I mean you will have tiny bits and pieces. Now I just put the magnet in a plastic bag so it's a bit easier to get it off the magnet if you do get any bits. So pretty much, so as you can see, there's literally nothing. You got to be careful of the little bits of gold that do get stuck. But yeah, pretty much that's the amount of magnetics that we get from Reedy Creek. Very minimal. So what I first do is run through the kitchen strainer. Do that now. So pretty much just get yourself another pan. I'm doing this dry. It is a lot easier if you do wet it down. It does help a lot. But just for this video we'll do it dry and I'll show you. So pretty much make sure everything's out of the pan. You are dealing with some pretty fine gold on Reedy Creek. Let's give it a good old shake. Now I'll keep this stuff to the side because there is a possibility of pickers and things like that. Just chuck it in there. As you can see, some of the bigger black sand pieces, bits of lead shot, like that one there, they all get strained out for you. So yeah, always have a bit of a suss through. I always like to pan it down afterwards just in case I missed anything. Chuck that onto the side. Right, and that's what I'm left with. So the reason I'm doing it dry is to sort of show you the hydrophobic effect of gold and how it can float on you. So pretty much what we're going to do, it's got a good old bottle of water here. I'm not sponsored by any means. It's just good old tap water in a bottle. So pretty much you put your water in. Right. A little bit of water in there. Now, as you'll see, the gold starts to float. The more you come back, the more it will start to float on you. As we can see there, got some floaters. So what we do is we get a bit of dishwashing liquid, literally in that amount of water. I just put just a little dot. That's plenty. So just give that a good old shake around, mix it up. Now if you have got oil and stuff on your fingers, say you're a mechanic or you've just eaten food or anything like that, once you put your fingers in there it will affect the dishwashing liquid and it will stop it from doing its job. So now pretty much we can see the gold's holding out. we're not having any floaters. Right, so now we can continue to the next step of separating the black sand. The good old tap tap method. As you can see, there's a bit of gold just sitting right there, and when you give it a good old tap, it climbs its way to the top. So just get it all settled. Now for this bit, I use 2 sniffer bottles, one for your gold and one for the black sand. So as you start to pull it back, clean out your black sand, and then any bits that start to wander, you can push back up or you can snuff it up. So I'll start with this. It's a pretty tedious process. Yes, you can get a miller table, but this is for sort of the people that don't have them luxuries. So it's just back and forth. You will get bits that roll away on you, that's quite normal. There's a bit just there in the corner trying to make its move. So I like to get it down to roughly there, and then I give it a bit of a shake, try and knock all that down to a corner. Now at this point you can just suck that up. Right, sort of just continue with it, so give it another shake, settle everything down, and pretty much rinse and repeat with that. We just keep going. As for technique, I don't really think there is a technique to it. Some people swirl, some people just do it like this, like the waves in an ocean, just slowly wash it away. It might not feel like it's moving, but it is very slowly. As you can see, getting what I call a Leonardo turtle building up in the bottom there. Try and knock this down the best I can, as fast as I can. As you can see, there's one bit of gold that's trying to escape. Most of the time they will just sit there. If they have shape about them, sometimes they will sail. Right. Then what I do, just grab the black sand bottle, pretty much, and then I just try not to get his bubbles and stuff in there. Right. Add a bit more water. Another drop dishwashing liquid. And yeah, just rinse and repeat again. When you start getting down to your last little final bits, you will notice that the gold starts to escape a bit more. You can always give it a good tap, but by tapping it can make the gold go from the bottom and climb up. It will climb. So I try to avoid the tapping until the very last bits, when you're trying to actually separate the gold from the black sand in your last little pile. I find it works the best. Yeah, everyone's got their own way of doing this. This is just bit of a way I do it, without a miller table and stuff. It can be tedious, but if gold was easy to get, everyone would be rich, wouldn't we? And this is why on the creek I just pan down to a certain amount, and then we just chuck it in another pan or a bucket on the side, because sitting there going through this on the creek, you're wasting time. You could be panning more gold out of the creek. So just put it in the bucket or whatever on the side, and then you go home and then clean it up at home. Alright, I'll knock this down and I'll be back to you shortly with the last little bit. So there we have it. It's been separated. We've got our gold up here and black sands down the bottom. Now you just go through the snuffer bottle, you suck up your gold, get rid of your black sands, and repeat the process if you have more cons to go through. This was a small day on Reedy Creek, so it was about an hour, so I didn't expect too much out of it, but looks like we did alright. Well, thanks for watching, guys.